everyone. It's your girl Trinice from American Idol, and I am encouraging you to tune into the Michael Finkley Show on Roku TV and YouTube.
If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side, 'cause I've been working all my life just to make it, just to make it, just to make it. I've been working all my
Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. So I was thinking about things that, as you grow up, your parents say so much, right? And they don't really make sense until you get older. And so I had one of those moments today. And I was just thinking about the times that my mom told my sisters and I to aim for a career instead of a job. So I didn't really think about that, and really didn't click to me until I got to college. And so that was her way of telling us that we can be anything that we want to be in life. Regardless of anything that we went through in life, what we're going through, still aim for your dreams. And that is what I'm doing. Present day, I am aiming for my dreams. I am aiming for my desires to come true. And God, they are. And it's happening so quickly. I am loving it. I am loving it. And so our guests today, they're saying the same thing. They have reached for their dreams and are still living in their dreams. They're aiming higher. This week we have Where Are They Now week, and we're excited about it. And so today starts that off, and we have two of the models from season 20 of America's Next Top Model. They are Adam and it is Renee. So y'all, they open up to us about what they're doing now and how it was to be on America's Next Top Model. So y'all, don't go away. We'll be right back. Next, we have Renee. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley American Idol edition, we have Trinice and Chip Days. Next Finkley, Wednesday.
What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching the Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
Looking for a mentoring program for your young male between the age of 6 and 18 in Columbia, South Carolina? Well, look no further. Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program is the program for you. Under the leadership of Mr. Jamal Stroud, Big Homie, Little Homie is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that caters and mentors at-risk youth that come from single-parent homes. The organization caters to young males between the ages of 6 and 18 within the greater Columbia area. The organization is devoted to shaping and molding their life into great men of society. Big Homie Little Homie organizes male gatherings, discussions, and even educational assistance devoted to guiding and leading them into a positive light. Making a positive attitude will help in transforming a life regardless of what is experienced in life. For more information on Big Homie, Little Homie Mentoring Program, visit our social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, I am super excited today because I am sitting in the presence of model royalty. Y'all, she is known for her time on Cycle 20 on America's Next Top Model. Here is Renee. How are you?
Hi, I'm so well, blessed. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Like I said before we got started, you're just so beautiful. You don't age.
Oh, stop it. So are you. You have a glow. You're glowing. I need some of that.
Good lighting.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
lighting.
Amazon helps.
Exactly, right? So growing up, Renee, did you already know that, hey, model was my thing, right?
No, okay, it's funny you asked that because I've been trying to figure that out. Like, 2020, everybody's been like, they had time to sit down and like be still and like learn about themselves.
Yeah.
It was like a lot of that for me. And I did not want to be, I didn't think I didn't know what a model was.
Okay.
I grew up in Trinidad and like we grew up in the bush, so it wasn't like like a city girl or anything like that. Like I had trees and animals and my grandma, and I wanted to be a princess because I thought that was real.
Well, princess model.
I mean, yeah, I just wanted to wear like beautiful gowns and run around and like hug people and save them and play and talk to animals. I really wanted to talk to animals. But my grandmother, funny enough, when I was born, I'm the first of my generation on both sides.
Oh.
So my mom's side, I have 36 grandkids on one side, on my mom's side alone. And I'm like just the first of everyone. So there was big expectations for me.
Yeah.
But when I was born, my grandmother on my dad's side, who passed away, unfortunately, we were very, very close. Thank you. She had a vision. And she said that I would be Miss Trinidad and Tobago. I would be one of the most photographed women in the world. And my number one gift would be influence. And she never saw any of these things happen. I can tell you that I honestly never like signed up for any of these things. They just kind of like happened to me, with God's blessing. So she saw what she saw. And I think maybe from there, that was like, I don't know if you hear something when you're younger and you like, like years later, you like become it because it's like always been said. But that's like the closest. I thought I was going to be a singer, but I can't sing. I can pretend real good, and I'm real good at karaoke.
Oh, stop it. I always say everyone can sing in their own special way. They really
you don't want to hear me sing, trust me. If I can sing, it's over. It's over. I'm coming for Beyonce and Beyonce only.
Hey, why not just you go for the top, right?
I mean,
I love it. And so as time went on and you grew more into yourself, how did you hear about this opportunity of America's Next Top Model?
Well, I've actually been a fan of the show forever. Like big fan, like religiously watched it.
Wow.
But for sure. I even had like a little book. I have it here. I'm at my parents' house right now, but like I have like a whole little planner because I'm like a scrapbooker kind of. I collect things like a little troll.
Nothing wrong with that. That's awesome.
I know. I like, I put like all the pictures I had. I know I had a picture of Eva and her CoverGirl commercial, like stuff you'd find in magazines. And like today, like most of those things came true. Well, all of those things actually came true. And that was like young, just like manifesting, I guess.
Oh,
yes, isn't that crazy?
That's it. Like once you speak it and it has to come to pass, good or bad, right?
So.
It has
I think so. It's true. Words are alive.
Yep.
And this particular time, I was in New York failing at modeling. I had no work and I couldn't afford my model apartment anymore. So I was going home. This is, mind you, after I ran away from home because I wasn't going to go back to school. And my parents was like, of course, open arms because they didn't want. I was like, okay, it's over now. My dream, I'm done. I tried. I failed. And on the way to the airport, my agent called me and he was like, one last casting. And he didn't tell me what it was. He had me pick up the paperwork. I got it printed at Office Depot. And then like I went in, they like metal detected us and like, I never forget it. It's like vivid in my head. Like I sat into like this big room with like a bunch of people. Like it was probably like 30 people in there, boys and girls. And I sat in the back with this one guy and me and him became instant friends. I'm like super friendly. So like we sat there and literally we talked shit about everyone. Literally just shady bitches in the back. Sorry.
Whoa.
And, like, one of the things that I remember us saying to each other is, watch that girl over there, that one and that one. Watch, this reminds me. I swear, I'm so shady sometimes. I'm working on it. I mean, well, I'm like that one and that one. I feel like this is like one of those top model castings. And mind you, the guy knew what was going on. I didn't. And I'm like,
you were just there.
I'm just there talking shit. And he's like sitting there like, he doesn't know that I don't know where I'm at.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, watch that one and that one. And Tyra's gonna walk in, and that one's the one that's gonna get, like crazy and like faint and like, oh my God,
That is
it's
crazy.
dying laughing. 2 minutes later, Tyra walks in, and guess who was the bitches standing up fainting, basically, because we're like, oh my God, it's Tyra. It was us. We were those people.
Wow. Wow. Now that's a story.
I know. I wish I could connect with him. I don't even remember his name. I like can't remember, but like that, I would never ever forget that.
Wow.
That's what you get for being shady, Renee.
Because you never know you're going to walk into Renee.
Right. Like the queen herself.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. And so just being on the show, how was that? How was that feel? How was that energy, just being in something that you saw on television for so many years?
Yeah. Mind you, full disclaimer, it's 8 years later, basically. 7 or 8 years later. But at that age, I was 23. I remember not getting called the day I was supposed to get called. And a week later, I got called. And when I finally got there, I don't know. I still to this day don't feel like it's real, because it's like, really? Are you kidding me? Like me, like I was me of all people, and like, even with like the whole, like, learning about yourself kind of thing that I've been going through with 2020, it kind of really like, girl, you were on TV, like, you met Tyra Banks, like, you know what I mean? Like, you did well, like, I'm starting to like, I've never been a person to like really like take good compliments and stuff, because I'm a perfectionist, and if it's not perfect, I'm, and I'm learning to accept, like, and I, for once, like I sat down and I'm like thinking like, girl, you've done this stuff, like, this is crazy, like, what's happening or what's happened? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm just so grateful, because life, it's like, there was a murder on my block this morning, literally. I know. And the police are still there, right? Literally outside. And, like, there's so many things happening. There's Corona, there's a pandemic. Like, I have family, like every week I go to a funeral, and I'm just sitting here like, I'm not perfect. Like I said, I'm a shady bitch, always, and I don't know why God chose, to still have his grace for me, because I am not perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I think I can make shit look good, but like, I am not perfect.
But you know what? I feel that, we're presenting opportunities in life, right?
Yeah.
And it's up to us to take them or leave them. But at times we can't literally say, why is this happening to me? We can't. We have to go with the flow. We just have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Literally. That's it. We learn. And that shows about when you're on the show as well. I saw that,
Really?
that competitive side, you were determined, you were dedicated, but also too, this spark created between you and this young man, Marvin.
Yeah.
Was that a distraction to you, or was that a plus for you in the competition?
No, it's funny you asked that question. I guess it seems like it, because I rewatched the show the other day, and it was like the first time I got to sit by myself and like really watch it.
Yeah.
And I said that it was on there, and they made it seem like, oh, when I'm having sex, I'm celibate, by the way. I was not having sex with nobody's children on TV.
Because I promise you,
you thought that?
Seem like y'all was getting on.
They did.
In the bed.
We were super innocent, I promise you. Like, we were holding pinky fingers and like passing notes. It was, I swear to you, like, my mom would have jumped through those cameras so quick. And are you kidding me? I would never. Never.
That's television.
But no, that's one thing I didn't like. But everything else, whatever, But as far as Marvin, I felt like when, he showed interest in me, I never really get men showing interest in me in the first place. I know people always say like that, and I'm just like scared of men.
Really?
So like in that moment, I kind of felt like, not just, I know it sounds stupid, like wanted, but like, I felt like, like, okay, like somebody wants you. And I felt like love, you know what I mean? Like I felt but not that he, made me feel better as myself, but like, it was just like, for this first time, I'm like, and the producers and everybody was like, we got special attention because they wanted to see what was going on. And that was a little like, oh my gosh to me. But I just, for once in my life, I can say that I felt very like needed and wanted, and it felt genuine. And so like, I didn't feel, like it was just like, because of course you're always saying, is this guy like trying to do this because he likes you? Is he trying to get some, but I felt like it was genuine,
And you know what? If from
Real.
your words, you said it was genuine, but from the way television had it, it was y'all was doing it in the sheets, right?
No,
He was a hornball, just ready all the time.
He was like that in the beginning, and like when we were together, when we spent time together, he was always very sweet and such a gentleman. I think that's a front he puts on sometimes. I don't know, like to just like, because that's what guys are, I feel like he was a lot younger too. He was 19, and I think there's a certain things that men are expected to be. And sometimes we like put on that very well. So, like someone expects something from you. So that's what you give them because you don't know what else to do. Right. I think there might've been a little bit of that, but like my experience with him on the show, he was very respectful because I don't play that shit, period.
I got you. I got you. And knowing you these few moments, I hear you, and I got you.
I don't play that shit. It'll switch you from cute and shy real quick. I don't play that shit.
Oh, the Island Girl coming out. I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna beat some sense into me. Okay.
Listen, do you all still keep in contact?
I haven't really been in contact with Marvin recently. We did a prank phone call the other day with Corey and Nina because they have a YouTube channel as well. It made me prank call him, and I don't know. I think he took it the wrong way, so I don't know what's going on there. But like he's always going to be a special person to me. So no matter what, like I really don't have that bad to say, to be honest. And if I say something bad, it's probably me joking, seriously. But there's nothing really bad to say about him. I didn't have a bad experience.
I gotcha. And so after the show was over, how did your life change as you went home? Describe that first time going home. Was it, oh my gosh, it's Renee? Or your phone's ringing off the hook? Like, describe that time.
No, it wasn't like that at all. Like, I just remember for the first time I'm remembering it, it's like they give you back your phone right after you leave, right? And you're on this like plane ride that's 18 hours from Bali. So I had to wait 18 hours with my phone in my hand, waiting because there's no charger, no nothing. That was like back then. So I ran to that and I called my parents and I'm like, because they knew where to pick you up. And I'm like, my mom's like, did you win? And I was just like, I can't tell you. You know what I mean? But So so that was that. So I was kind of like walking off the plane, like expecting to be Beyonce, like when they step off the plane and like, she's like,
cameras, people. Yeah.
Nothing happened. My family were, I think they really tried to, because it's like, we never really like met nobody famous before, or like been around nobody that was on TV. So like, I think a lot of not my family, like my close family, it was refreshing because we're super close and they were always there with me.
Yep.
The first time I actually had a fan, I was going to a guest fashion show and I was late because my flight was late. Mm-hmm. And this little white girl, I say her color, because if you see a little white girl screaming bloody murder and running towards you, what you gonna do?
You run.
Thank you. That's what the hell I did. And I'm a track star. I ran track. I ran the other way. And it took me like 4 blocks in like 6-inch heels to know. And she's like, running, to realize she's calling my name. Right. And I turn around and then she starts screaming. And I'm like, I've never seen people been really like fans like that before, Like, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen that. Never seen that. So after 4 blocks away, then she finally caught me. And she just runs to me and just hugs me. And I'm just sitting there like, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Like, and I'm getting ready. I'm like, who we fighting? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like,
square up.
What? It's a little girl too, And she's just like, you're Renee. I'm like, are you okay? Because like I'm just like, okay, what's going on? And then I finally realized, oh, it's from Top Model. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, it's happening. I'm Beyonce now. Everybody don't speak to me. Stop speaking to me, everyone. Like, no pictures.
Stop. Whoa.
Yeah,
And
so I had to
so,
go call my mom and like cry in the bathroom, like I'm a star.
oh, wow. I can only imagine that feeling though. Once
It was
you
crazy.
remember, like, oh yeah, I was on Top Model. This person remembers you from that.
Yeah, and the show hadn't aired yet because there was like a group of like real like Top Model fans that were like they knew everything that was going on while we were filming. But then the first thing that my mom said while I was in the bathroom, she's like, well, you're not making any money yet, and we need to get you some security. And I'm pretty sure everybody else in Top Model has security and a makeup team, and you're over there walking, taking taxis and stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, oh shit, like what's supposed to happen? I never really needed security till this day. But like, you know what I mean? Like my mom's like a reality check all the time. So I'm like, okay, not fan. Think about where you gonna make some money.
Right.
you know?
Oh my gosh. And so what have you been doing since Top Model?
Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, it's been 8 years. And I have been truly, truly blessed. It's been every single thing that I can possibly ever have dreamed of, I've been able to do. And it sounds so like, like I'm not like trying to brag or anything, but like
it is what it is.
God has been so good to me. Like, oh my God, I just did the highest paid job I did ever yesterday. And I can't talk about what it is yet, but I'm just like, me, it was just amazing. I always, the highlight of my whole life basically was when I got to like requested to shoot with Beyonce. Don't speak to me.
Yeah, I cannot with Renee.
That was really cool. I was able to do Cover Girl. What else am I able to do? I'm like throwing blanks. I worked with Lord & Taylor. I've worked with lots of beauty brands, lots of fashion brands. I got to do a Louis Vuitton show. Like it was just, amazing. And then my favorite part of everything is like being able to travel. And then I get to meet, I like to collect people, like I go to different like countries or different places, and then you meet different people that like, like how you go to like New Orleans or you go to, Florida, and you have like a different like flavor of person, and I love meeting different people with different flavors, and getting to see like, how everybody lives and like how everybody's pretty much the same, and we're all just over here trying our best, and if you're not shit, you enjoying it, you're doing whatever you're doing, you're doing your best.
Exactly.
That's what I love the most.
Awesome. And it shows because you had this new business, Soul Tie Shoe Shop. Please tell us about it, please.
I remember going to South Africa. That's where it started. And I shipped a bunch of shoes home.
Yeah.
And then it started being like shipping shoes home from different countries and different places. So my parents has a guest room, and it's even still full of shoes right now again. So it was literally wall to wall full of shoes. And then my mom calls me one day and I'm like, did you get the shoes? And she's just like, you are not going to send one more pair of shoes to my house. It's either you sell it or I'm throwing it away. So I opened like a regular shoe store, like an online shoe store, and it sold out. And I was just like blown away. And it was just like all my size. And everybody was like requesting like different sizes and stuff. And I'm just like, I just want to like, it turned out to be something that I wasn't like into. It just turned out to be, it started to be a business basically. And I really wanted to pick the shoes and just send, like have shoes that I like, and like, I like, just like I like the flavors of people, I wanted to match the shoes with the person. I didn't know how to do that. So that's what Soul Tie Shoe Shop, when it first started, was.
Okay.
So like now, during Corona, I was like sitting there playing with my shoes because I like to have them like lined up, color coded. I'm so like strange.
Oh wow. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Huh?
There ain't nothing wrong with that.
I mean, yeah, and I'm OCD sometimes too. So like, it's like literally like you see my bathroom. It's color coded and like everything. And I started like I like to give presents too. So my friends, they got married or they're getting married, and then Corona hit. And I'm like, okay, how am I gonna send like a present? Because it's so tacky to go to people's house without a present, like something, barehanded. Come on. So I put some shoes for the girl, Donna. I don't know, you might know them. Josiah, he was actually on Bachelor. I went to high school with him.
Yes.
So it was like, so he was having like all his friends, like his famous friends coming over and stuff. So I wanted to, be cute. So I got like the shoes for Donna. And then Donna's his fiance, and I got, like a bunch of different stuff that's specially curated for her. Like stuff that she likes. She's really into stationery. So I got her like a little stationery thing with like her new like last name on it. And like, like I got her, she has like the cutest butt ever. So I got her a butt face mask, not a butt face mask, but a mask for your butt, like a sheet mask,
I got you.
It's just, stuff like that's for that person that,
Right.
only they like a personal gift.
Right.
And, I wrapped it in like this really special paper. And then when I went there, everybody was like, I need one too. So I was like, oh, business. So it started, it just like before it was work, and now it's just love. Like I'm able to just like send my love to you. And like, then it started being like, okay, well, can you do this? Can you do a box that's specifically for housewarming? Can you do one for a birthday? Can you do one that's just thinking of you? And I'm really, really like very, very connected to my faith. I'm a Christian and learning about God. I'm starting theology school soon. And I love, I'm very into history and studying the Bible. That's what I'm like a big thing. So I sent a box to my mom's friend for her birthday, and it was more like a praise box. So it was, it had like a coloring Bible. It's like a regular Bible, and it has like, like adult coloring. It's like an adult coloring book. There's like places that you can write with your gel pens, because I send the pens in it. And then every month you get it as a subscription. You get, more, we learn together, like a Bible study. And then all of her church friends wanted to do it. And like, it's just like, I don't know, like, like when you try and it doesn't work, you're just like, shit. But then like, I feel like God, you don't need to go out and like search for stuff if God just like sends it to you, when it's the time. And like, I feel like I had to step into myself. Yeah. And I had to learn, like, what do you like? You like gifts, you like shoes, you like Jesus, you like presents, put it all together and send it to people, help them, whatever they want to do. And like, who doesn't want like a sweetly wrapped present?
Everyone loves that. A little something every now and again.
Yeah. And you know what the best part is? I get to promote my business instead of everybody else's business. That for me is like, I'm still blown away. Like a few days ago, I know, I just like, this is, you know what I mean? Like my, like we have this joke, me and my friends that are models, they're like, tat your name on my face so I know it's real. It's like our rap career. So like now.
Let me know when the album comes out.
Right. No, so like now it's, like my face on my business. And I just like opened my own office today. Like, I know, I'm like so excited. It's like me, and it's like doing well. And like last week a couple weeks ago, I went to my friend's wedding in New Orleans, and her friend just asked me like, cause I was getting like orders, but not like, oh my God, and I know you're not supposed to say that, but whatever. I was like getting orders enough for me to handle. And she was like, I saw you did a bridal photo shoot recently with Shannon. Shannon's the friend who got married. And she's like, can you do a special order for me? I want you to have make gifts prepared for the entire bridal party and the entire guest list. How the hell I'm gonna do all that? I like, got it. I'm still crying about it. Like, like when you expect, like, you think you're gonna do good, but then God's like bigger. That one meme.
And he always has a bigger dream for us.
I did not expect that. Like this, I think it's one thing to like be able to like book a good paying job for like someone else's brand, but like when I get to put billboards up, nobody speak to me. Because I mean, that's my shit. Okay.
You work for it.
I'm working.
That's
I'm
it.
working.
That's it. And so what would you tell those future models, right? They're looking at you and they're saying, I want to be just like Renee. What would you tell them going
Don't
forward?
be like me, sis. I did what I could do just so y'all could do better. It's you step on my shoulders and do better, and so that the next girl could do better and better. Do you see what's happening in the industry right now? They are booking us, okay? And not just like, because a lot of my career was being the token Black girl, you know? And it's like, not even because I'm like, it's more because like I have, like, I'm Black enough. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not just me. Like I turn to the left, it's a Black girl. I turn to the left, it's a Black girl. And it's not like, you know, me standing way in the back with all the white girls over there. And like, no shade to the white girls, because, you know, they all got to eat too. But like, and you know what? It's not even just the Black girls. It's the big girls, the Black girls, everybody, they're booking humans. It's human beings. That, oh my goodness. And like, when I have a daughter, she's going to be able to look at anything and say like, I could be her. That's wild. Look at Kamala. Look where she at. I know. And she's from the Caribbean. Hey. And she's, oh my gosh.
That's it. That's
wonderful.
That is it. I love that. Oh, Renee, how can they find you on social media?
Yay, Renee Big Time, ReneeBigtime. Please follow me. And I know I've been not posting a lot for my YouTube because I'm really trying to get this YouTube together, but I have so much in store and it's been really hard to really put myself like for like who I am really out there. So that's what I'm working on doing right now. So I really want you guys to check me out on my YouTube channel too, if you want.
I love it. Y'all, it's Renee. Thank you so much for your words, your wisdom, and your experience, and your youthfulness looks because you don't age. It's Renee. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
No.
She is flexible and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, you know, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I,
Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and best wishes.
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we are often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac Devine, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our college readiness cohort series. This college readiness series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really?
If you're interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Now, our next guest, you may remember him from Cycle 20 of America's Next Top Model as well. Here is Mr. Adam Byrd. Adam.
Hey, everybody, how you doing?
Adam. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Guaranteed, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, sir. So, Adam, you heard of the phrase, right? If you dream it, you can achieve it. When did you know that you can achieve your dreams?
Realistically, ever since I was a child, my mom told me that when I was born, that she knew that I was going to be like a star. Like she knew it. I was born on a Friday. I think she said in Living Color came out. I was born on a Friday, 4/20, 1990. She was like, she knew that I was the one. My name is Adam because I'm the first son, so I have 3 older sisters. And she was like, "Oh my God, if another girl comes out," and then I came out. She was like, "Adam, that's gonna be his name." So ever since I was born, there's literally nothing nobody can tell me that won't deter me at all.
Oh, wow, I love that. And so thinking about that component of achieving your dreams, when did you start within the entertainment world?
Well, the funny part too, graduating high school, I graduated like a 3.25, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the orchestra, first chair. I was in all forms of sports. I was in all the chess clubs. I was in AP classes, anything basically to keep my mind off of anything in life. And I just wanted to excel and just go ahead and break any type of generational curses.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a job too from 14. I was a cashier at Valo for like ever. I did anything in my life to keep me busy to the point where I'd be so tired, just wake up and get it done again.
Gotcha. And as time went on, you heard about this opportunity to be on America's Next Top Model. How did this come about?
Well, everything I've ever thought of doing, it ended up happening. But I've always had a crush on Tyra Banks to this day. Like, I don't even care. If you go on her page right now, it doesn't even matter. I'm just there's hearts on most of her posts ever since 15 years ago. Like, it's no matter what, man. I always wanted to be with Tyra Banks and see her. So I found out about the open call around the nation, and how castings go with models and actors and everybody. It's a large, huge turnout, and there's always you're going to be up against whatever, and nobody's like me. So I was like, I'm gonna go into it and just go into the competition and see what's what. So I think I sang like My Girl or something. Like to the audition people, but it was basically just a tower.
Oh wow! Did you think it was American Idol?
No, not at all. I knew what it was, but like at the time, one of my good friends was Tyson, and he was mentoring me really in my modeling career and telling me what to do, what not to do, and everything. And I definitely wasn't supposed to do that show, but I did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you did. You did, and you were able to enter the competition. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot because it was the first time men were ever going to be represented on America's Next Top Model, period. So 19 cycles of America's Next Top Model around the world with the worldwide audience that it has. It was massive because not only that, I think they only chose 2 dark-skinned men or somewhat chocolate men. It was me and Ronald Epps. You know, Ronald ended up going to Wilhelmina right after that and, you know, blowing up like how he should be and stuff like that. But when I got into that, the getting on the show was cool, but then getting into the house was the main part. You know what I mean? So you actually had to like kill your first performance. And that was all a whole new experience within itself too, because I've never been separated from everybody for weeks.
Right. And so you were eliminated far within the early part of the season. And you know, we saw that emotion that came out as you said that you would never ever stop chasing your dreams.
Yeah.
And so what
I said everybody would see me everywhere. I said that. Yeah, I said okay, because I felt it coming. I was just like, no way. I was like, no. I was like, yo. I mean, they weren't playing me, but I saw the episodes after that, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't want to do that anyway. So, but the emotion that came over me, I couldn't control it. You know what I mean? Right. It was right after a bunch of photo shoots, and I know how to model. You know what I mean? That proves through what, you know, probably you're gonna ask me soon. But for the past 10 years, like I'm one of the ones who actually knows how to do it. So it hurt me a lot. But not only that, I was just like, yo, y'all have no idea what I have in store for myself. Period. Like I'm gonna be everywhere, whether it be my voice, whether it be my face, whether it be literally just my persona somewhere. Like it's gonna be imprinted in your life somewhere. That's what I was telling them. It's gonna be imprinted.
Gotcha. And as time went on, what did that look like? How did that show change your life in going forward?
Truthfully, I didn't come back from America's Next Top Model broke. I came back to America's Next Top Model with about $28,000 in checks at my crib.
What?
So at that exact moment in time, that's when I became like that was, I had a couple real big jobs, but my stuff just started blowing up. So it wasn't like yet. So right after that, I had like my Just for Men check hit. Like I became the guy on the Just for Men box with the beards, Jet Black beard box for the past 10 years. That was me on the box for the past 10 years.
Oh,
so I kicked Clyde Frazier off of that. Then I did a Chevrolet commercial with John, one back to back. I did one for Out of Country, and then John Legend did the one for In Country. And then I was at that certain point when I got back, I was just like, I was kind of mad. You know what I mean? So when I'm mad, I'm not actually angry. You know? So it's not an actual emotion of anger. I was just like, okay, y'all want to see what's really up. Cool. So I'm gonna show y'all what's really up. I'm gonna take everybody's job. So most Black people in my demographic and everything, those weren't my opponents. My opponents were white men most of the time, and I would take their jobs too.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
For years, I relentlessly did that until I started focusing on music. I was getting like 3 commercials a week almost.
Was all that due to your competitiveness?
It's a formula, right? So it's like an algorithm, but competitiveness is cool, but everybody, athlete can actually be competitive. If you have heart and if you have something that you came from that you never could forget, you're always looking to get there. So I just wanted to get there and I didn't know where it was. That's why I never looked back on and if I did any big accomplishment, I never really looked back. I just was like, I gotta keep going. Never gave myself credit for it. Never did this, that. I was just like, I gotta keep going. I never lived in the moment of any of it at all.
Gotcha. Wow. Amazing to hear. And you talked about your music. How did you pivot from modeling and how did that help with your music that you're producing?
Well, with music, my grandfather is Richie Barrett, so he's one of the pioneers of R&B, right? My grandmother is Sandra Dawn, and she sang for the Platters, right? So with me, I already knew how it really was going to go in entertainment because that's the field of our family and our bloodline, especially what runs through me. So in the AP class and everything that I told you about and studied is, that's where I learned how to I've loved and known music for so long that I can make music from almost anything. I can take a rubber band and make music out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing that since a child. So that's why I was able to choose my string instrument when I was young. But with what it helped me with, I was able to isolate my mind, and my acting and music was going so good that I, instead of being able to take money from labels, and I knew most people, I still do. I know a lot of people that are with everything. A lot of people just guiding me for the better route because I had my own money to invest into myself the entire time. So I, of course, made the sacrifice and I knew what it would take to do that. And I've looked stupid and humiliated a couple of times, but that's just the journey, you know what I'm saying? So I actually I invested in everything I owned, all the masters. I wouldn't just give it away.
Right.
There's a big fight for, music's a whole different beast it's a whole different beast than anything I've ever been in when it comes to entertainment. So with that, I just had to not roll with the punches per se, but to find my lane and stick with it because there was a lot of music that I was listening to in the past 10 years, which is why I started doing music. I'm always around the biggest DJs in the world. I'm around some of the, I'm around the sexiest models. I'm around me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm got to show up at these parties and everything's calm, everything's good, but I'm not having fun listening to this little kid stuff. I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? I want to bump and grind like how we do down south, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so when you leave that club, or even if you don't have that girl or anything, when you leave the club, you actually remember that type of stuff. But with all this and that, it's man, I'm trying to drink my drink and be sexy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad all that's coming back around, and I'm going to be in the forefront of it. But that's one of the main reasons why I started making music. But the main reason why I really started making music was a certain human that I'm doing business with now, who's also a legacy of some things. We've known each other for 10 years. I just had to understand the business side of everything because I don't want to ever get messed over because I don't really react well to getting messed over. So I just had to learn everything and be ready for everything and I always love what I do. So the music that's inside of me actually has the ability to change a lot of ways people can feel, they have something to escape to more than what you're hearing.
Gotcha. You reminded me of something. Ryan Toby told me that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So you stay ready, bro. Stay ready.
That's what I'm doing right now. So I'm just sitting here in life, just thinking about all of the, it wasn't really struggles because in my life and my perception and everything, I don't ever really think I have bad days. I don't really think I have bad times, but during my times of music and learning the journey and doing it, it's not really on my own, but it's sort of on my own. I would get advice from all the big people. I was becoming a little bit bitter, I guess.
Yeah.
So because what I want is what I want, you know what I mean? And when I work that hard for it, that's what I want. You know what I'm saying? So it's I held on the entire time, and it became everything that I wanted. Because there's so much more coming that it's just wow, I can't imagine it.
Yeah. I love that. And you're doing some big things now. What are some things that you're currently working on?
Well, during the pandemic, I rose to number 5 in the entire world, independent airplay for the top 150 global artists in the entire world. So right now I'm at like number 5 for my single "Knock Knockin'." I got a whole plethora of things for the spring, summer, and fall, and we started a label. And it's also, that's what was on the charts at that time. So I was just like, whoa, like this is like a blue phoenix, right? So not only that, I got TV shows and movies and a bunch of other things that I had to prepare myself and get ready for, because I wasn't able to, with the money that I was investing in, I wasn't able to actually like focus on self, so I never really focused on self. It was either bills or my dream, you know what I mean? So now that I'm built back up to where I'm supposed to be, back to this man that I am, then I can like love it all, and I'm ready for it all. So it's just like the process is just, it's beautiful. It was kind of unique though.
But our processes make us who we are. Ultimately, as long as we continue to have that mindset of personal success, you got this. You got this. Yes, sir.
I've always had minimal distractions. I know how to isolate. I'm a super extrovert. I love being around people. I love moving rooms. You know what I'm saying? But there's certain times where I just had to like sit down and really just hunker down and so I can be ready.
Yeah, exactly. We need that.
That's a really big point in life that that all talent needs to do and think about. They need to withdraw for a second and not too long. Don't go too long, because like what's Miguel say? But don't just jump in too long. That song. But it's like you just gotta be that puzzle piece that knows how to be right and it's just gotta fit.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then you gotta stand out.
Yep, definitely. I love that. How can they find you on social media, and how can they also purchase and listen to your music?
There's my track. So pulled everything offline. We have our track that just soared to those numbers it did. My name online for music as my artist is no longer Birdie. It's my name, Adam Byrd, because we're gonna tie it all in with everything that we're doing. But Adam Byrd, ADAMBYRD. The track is called "Knock Knockin'." So it's cool. I want to describe not just monogamy or polygamy or anything. I want to describe how that interaction is, because people don't really like talk about it. They just be like, oh, I just met this girl and it was just like this, or I just met this person and it's just like this. It's like, that's not how it goes. Let me tell you how it goes for real. You know what I mean? Let me tell you what makes you remember that person and hit them up or even be mad at them later on. There's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pulling that in. To see me on my other handles, it's just Big Birdie, BIGBYRDY.
Okay, awesome. And all your information is in the description below. Adam, we appreciate you. We know what you're doing. You're still doing well. Thank you so much for your words, your wisdom, and your knowledge. Thank you for being on.
Thank you so much, guys.
What's up, everybody? This is Ryan Toby. You know me from Sister Act 2, Mr. Oh Happy Day, and the hit R&B group City High. I'm welcoming everybody to tune into the Michael Finkley Show on YouTube and also on the Greater Works Network on Roku TV. Don't forget to subscribe.
I'm just not college material. I am tired of school. I'm just not sure what I want to do after graduation. Sound familiar? Welcome to the Prelo Educational Institute. Our focus is to help young people prepare for life after high school. It's never too early to start planting the seed for education, career, and life overall. The Prelo Educational Institute is made up of the following 2 products. The first product is the book titled I Ain't Going to College, A Guide for Life After High School. This is the first book of a series that introduces middle and high school students to a young man struggling to find his way and make the decision about whether attending college is the right choice for him or not. The book has questions inside, and a supplemental curriculum can also be purchased. The newest product from the Prelo Educational Institute is our online course titled Preparing for Life After High School. In this course, students will learn about decision-making, self-confidence, accountability, self-awareness, and many other topics that speak to social-emotional learning. Young people will read a story about a young man who never gave up no matter what the circumstances were. The course is interactive and has questions, quizzes, and video. Do not wait until your child or student is a senior in high school to start planning. Enroll today. To enroll and learn more, please visit www.speakerauthormarlowe.com.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. So you know what today is? Today is Monday, Motivational Monday. And y'all, we have my brother, my pal, my friend, Timothy Clifton. Take it away, Tim.
So, man, it's from Millennial Coach TC, and I just want to come talk to all my athletes, all my business people, all my people who think they sweet, all the people who think that talent is alone going to work. I'm coming to tell you that talent alone do not work. All my athletes, man, I'm telling you, man, they got that guy in the gym, they got that guy on the field, they got that guy in the film room, they got that guy who's studying, the greats. You got all these people who just with talent alone, they do not get nowhere. Or when they do get somewhere, they can't even last there because they don't have enough effort. They don't have enough discipline. They don't have enough consistency. And man, they got that guy who doing 1,000 dribbles. They got that guy who putting up 1,000 shots after practice, after the games. You got that guy who's studying film after the games, after practice. You got the people who going in to their books, they learning more knowledge about their business. They going deeper in it. They investing their time and they investing in their money. They investing in training. They investing in extra learning things to get their mind ready to get to the next level. Talent will take you to places that effort will allow you to stay at. But talent will take you to places with no effort that you cannot stay at. Man, this is so true, man, because you go to places and you think because you sweet on the field or you sweet on the court or you nice in that area that you're going to just go there without any effort, without any work ethic, go there and take somebody's spot or go there and be the top person. But I promise you, it's that person who's really got that dog in them, who's hungry for the opportunity, who's ready to take that opportunity and make it count, that's going to outdo you every single time, who's going to outwork you every single time. Again, talent do not work alone. Talent do not work alone.
What's up, y'all? I'm Leon Frierson, former cast member from Nickelodeon's All That and co-host of the Prime Nostalgia Podcast. And I'm here to ask you to join me in watching the Michael Finkley Show weekly on YouTube. Now, I've been on the show, so I definitely know it's a platform where you'll be educated, informed, and inspired. Now, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on YouTube.
Morphin' time.
On the Michael Finkley Show, we have Catherine Sutherland and Nakia Parise. We can't forget Zordon. David J. Fielding is with us. Next Finkley, Friday. To the Michael Finkley Show, you know the question I'm going to ask. What did you learn? Y'all, it was an amazing show, and I got to talk with Renee and Adam of season 20 of America's Next Top Model. They are still doing some incredible things. They're still living in their dream and their passion. So thank you so much for sharing your stories. On the next Michael Finkley, y'all, we're continuing on Where Are They Now week, and this time we stop in American Idol. Y'all, it was a show back in the day when I was growing up. Kelly Clarkson, Ruben Studdard, fantastic Fantasia, y'all. And we're talking with Trinice, and we're also talking with Chip Days. What are they doing now? What are they up to? You find out that on Wednesday's Finkley. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring that bell for notification. We'll see you an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and also on Apple Podcasts. And for more information on The Michael Finkley Show, what we're up to, please visit our website at michaelfinkleyshow.com. Y'all, thank you so much for watching. And guess what? We'll see you Wednesday. Have a good one.